Hey, what's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? What's up? A gracious good morning to you good people. It's your girl KB. You know what I do, and you know why I do it. It is hump day. This week has gone by really fast, and I needed it to go by really fast because I ain't having it. Bottom line, I'm not having it. Let me timestamp this baby and get into what I'm not having. It's June 4th, and it's 3:05 in the a.m. And again, it's Wednesday. What am I not having? As I expected, I got some typical responses to what I'm talking about. And once again, someone has decided to tell me how far off the rails I am, according to them. Oh, you started off really cool, preaching the gospel. Then there's the but. You started off really cool preaching the gospel, but you added a bunch of stuff. Now, for those of you who follow me, you know what I added? The real me. It strikes me as odd. You're cool as long as I'm telling you something that's devoid of personality, that's devoid of conviction, that's devoid of reality. And some of you are old enough to remember this character. It was early computer-generated images, early AI. And I know it wasn't AI because AI wasn't in the forefront yet, but it was a computer-generated image, and it was a talking head. And my man was named Max Headroom. Maximum Headroom. And I thought about the emptiness in a Max Headroom. See, an open mind is like an empty garbage can. As long as it's open, people are going to fill it with stuff. And I'm quickly finding out that people are content to have it filled with their truths or garbage. And I thought about this message as I was driving into work this morning, based on a true story. I'm telling you about a friend. Yeah, see, I'm telling you about a friend. This particular friend had someone in their life that presented an image. And they were quick to say, well, I don't want to lie, when that's all they did. But because they had this image that they presented, everyone went along with it. I'm cool until you give me reason not to be. So everyone went along with this image. Again, everyone. And bottom line, the math wasn't mathing. I put brackets around things. I put it to the power. I inverted. I divided. And the math just wasn't mathing. You get the gist of what I'm saying, that it just didn't add up. And, you know, I wasn't paying attention because the individual, the friend, was showing their work. And their work was dictating my worth. That part. And because the math wasn't mathing, the sum never quite got to what it should be. That part. You know, when people have an image to maintain, this is the message that the Lord dropped into my spirit. When people have an image to maintain, that's all they have to maintain. You know, it's like back in the day, you know, when we had the living room that nobody ever went in to live. You know, it was just a place that you visited and that you had to keep clean. Like you had to go in and dust on the weekends because nobody ever actually lived in that room. It had no real, I won't say worth, other than to showcase furniture and for you to clean. Some of y'all old school folks know what I'm talking about. You know, so back in the day, we had this real nice furniture in the living room that you didn't live in. So you created this image, you know, straight out of Architecture Digest or Design magazine. The living room was the bomb, you know. And after my grandparents passed, my mother inherited their furniture because it was nicer than ours. You know, we had that furniture that you would buy on time, you know, and it was basically cardboard with some nice fabric on it. But when my grandparents passed, my mom inherited their furniture, and they had this amazing sectional with custom slip covers. My grandma was known as a shadow box. And this is basically a curio cabinet with a mirror on the back that you hung on the wall. And she had these little horses and things that reminded her of, you know, growing up in Virginia, the country. And so we had this curio cabinet, or the shadow box, if you will, with the horses. And does anybody remember the centerpiece on the living room table? They were blown glass grapes. We had that. So we had all this ornate furniture with little hints of like African artwork. We had African statues and little curios that also sat in various places in the living room. And my mom had this huge vase with, excuse me, this huge floor vase with these giant plumes. I think they're called ting-tings. You know, so again, the living room was a place that nobody lived in. And a lot of us have lives like that. We have this image that we maintain. We have drapes, but then we also have shears. You know, those are those flimsy curtains that you can see through. So at night you close the drapes. In the daytime, you presented the shears so the sun could come through. You starting to get the life analogy? So when you have this image to maintain, you're dealing with drapes and shears. But what does the living room look like? Are you living? And again, I'm going to get back to that phrase. You know, a lot of us are living our truths. And basically what that is uh, a pass to do what you want to do and how you want to do it. I'm living my truth. I'm speaking my truth. Is it the truth? Because a lot of us, like that friend, the math ain't mathing, and we're content to live that lie. And as soon as that lie is exposed, we do a geographic. Now, there's something wrong with that friend. Yeah, you know what's wrong with them? They loved you enough not to lie to you. They loved you enough to tell you the truth about you. And what did you do? You hated them for it. Because that it forced you to look at you. That forced you to open those drapes to let the light in. That forced you to grow the hell up. So we get mad at those people when we should be thanking those people. That part.